Guys, the Venom movie is officially in production. There's been a lot of news coming out from Sony and some rumors and whatnot. So I want to break it all down and tell you guys why I have totally turned and am now very excited for this movie. Let's talk about it. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. Hey, if you love comic book movies, subscribe to this channel. We do all sorts of coverage when it comes to those types of films. Oh, and real quick, shout out to Dejo Fortunato. And I'm sorry if I got your name mispronounced there, but you got the nerd card question correct on my latest Justice League video. So shout out to you, my friend. You know your stuff when it comes to the Justice League. There will be another nerd card question at the end of this video, so let's get right into it, guys. There's a ton of stuff to talk about when it comes to Venom. First of all, let's mention the fact that this thing is actually in production. They made an official Twitter account for the movie and released a photo of Tom Hardy with some other folks actually on set getting ready to shoot this thing. That is crazy, man. For a long time there were people in the community that thought, okay, well, this is just posturing, you know, this is just some kind of tactic that Sony is using to get their deal a little bit better when the time comes to re-sign that contract with Marvel. But no, it would appear they are actually moving forward on this thing. The movie's taking place. Okay, now there's not too much to glean from that photo, so I don't really want to talk about it, but it is kind of cool to talk about. Now, the cast itself is kind of an interesting thing here. Tom Hardy is infamous in Hollywood circles for being very critical of the material he takes on. He doesn't just take any gig. He really is selective with the scripts that he looks at, that he feels he would be good in, and so he's really picky. It's kind of crazy that he would take this script and sign on to do this. I mean, comic book movies are huge for actors, and I think more and more actors are sort of coming around to doing a superhero movie as a way to kind of establish their brand. But even still, Tom Hardy does not really strike me as one of those guys. Even though he did the Bane thing already, he only did that because it was Christopher Nolan. So right off the bat, you know, that really made me think they probably got something going on with this film that's very interesting. The rest of the cast seems really awesome too. I mean, you've got a lot of people that have that same kind of reputation, that they are basically very selective about the movies they do. So that should really give you a lot of faith here, okay? Now, Sony did come out and sort of make a statement that this will not be attached to the MCU at all, which we all probably knew was going to be the case, but it is attached to what they are calling the Sony Marvel Universe, which circles around Tom Holland as Spider-Man. The big rumor right now is that the story that this film is going to adapt is the Lethal Protector storyline. Is basically a storyline where Eddie Brock agrees to leave Spider-Man alone, and Spider-Man will stop bugging him if Venom stops committing crimes and moves to San Francisco. Okay, so this is a rumor basically coming from Omega Underground, which, you know, is let's just say less than reputable, but they put forth some good evidence. Apparently the film is actually going to be shooting in San Francisco, which kind of is interesting. The casting reports are also saying that they're looking for a lot of mercenaries, and so basically in that storyline, despite Venom moving and trying to turn over a new leaf, a group of mercenaries is essentially put together from the victims of Venom. So his victims go out and get a bunch of superpowered mercenaries to track him down and get revenge. So in that storyline, Spider-Man and Venom end up teaming up with a ton of other Venom symbiotes, including Riot, Lasher, Agony, and Scream. They all get together and fight off this mercenary thing. It's a very like bombastic comic book type thing, which they don't have to adapt, you know, straight up. They'll probably make their own version of it. But the fact that they are looking for mercenaries and the fact that the film is supposedly shooting in San Francisco is good evidence to support that claim. I think that's a very interesting way for them to get away from New York and get away from where the Avengers are and where Spider-Man is majorly hanging out. And they don't even necessarily need Spider-Man other than maybe a short scene in which he explains the deal and Venom agrees to it and then leaves the city. So if I was Sony, I would kind of do this thing where even though technically it's not taking place in the MCU, I might make little reference references to things that are going on in New York so that the audience can still kind of assume that the universes are linked if they're not going to dig too far into it. Because there's a lot of people out there that still think like X-Men and Avengers and Deadpool and Fantastic Four are all connected. The average movie-going audience doesn't really think about it the same way the hardcore nerds think about it, which is okay. But either way, guys, that is pretty much all the information I wanted to drop in this video talking about the Venom movie, what storyline it could be adapting, how it's connected to the MCU, and why I'm personally excited for this film. Let me know in the comment section. Did you hear something else that maybe I missed? Are you excited about this movie? Do you think it's a terrible idea and you don't trust Sony at all? Please let me know your thoughts. More than willing to have a conversation with you about this in the comment section. All right, let's check that nerd card really quickly. I want to know, what is the character that Riz Ahmed is rumored to be playing in the Venom movie? He's rumored to be in the film, and there's a particular character that people think he will be playing in the film. What is the name of that character? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!